Well, it's Friday now at Origins, and I, for one, have come to terms with our inflatable Pokemon overlords, so I've come to accept it. Derek, you'll anger the Pokemons!
Pikachu.
The Pikachu!
Pikachu.
Gesundheit. One thing I haven't shown you yet is the gaming area, the open gaming area. And what you can see behind me is that. About half of the dealer hall, no, the exhibit hall, there's a lot of halls here, but the exhibit hall, half of that has been, the dealer hall, half of the hall has been dedicated to open gaming. And so you can see we got this whole, football field worth of size dedicated to just open gaming tables. Sit down, play a game. So it's more than just coming through and buying games and talking to dealers and vendors and having Dice Tower interview you. There's also a lot of gaming going on, and because that's really what it's all about. So cool. Let's go to the next hall, which is either the dealer hall. I have no idea where I am.
The Origins Game Fair helped to keep a focus on the gaming by including the gaming areas close to the rest of the publisher booths. This presented not only ample opportunities to demo new and upcoming games, but to even sit down and play games with their designers. One of the highlights of Origins for me was when I had a chance to do just that and play a prototype of the upcoming game from Z-Man Games, Caravan, with the designer himself, Emerson Matsuichi. Now, Emerson's Caravan prototype was still in the homemade printouts in card sleeves stage when we played it, but it demonstrates what Emerson does so well, expanding on a gaming concept to introduce some new twists, but while keeping the gameplay as streamlined and straightforward as possible. But playing games with their designers isn't the only rare treat for gamers at Origins. The gaming hall had dozens of tables covered in fantastic 3D terrain for playing miniatures games. This is a great opportunity to play with sculpted environments that you might not otherwise be able to, and to try out a variety of miniatures games before you buy them, especially since they can often be a substantial investment.
This is a table replicating an entire galaxy over here. You got planets, 3D actual planets set up. It just looks super fun. Super duper fun. Hyperspace! Table D46.
It's a famous table.
I have his autograph at home. I mean, it's not a very good autograph because it's a table, obviously, but still, it's the thought that counts.
Impressive, because tables don't have arms or hands.
Drink it in.
Cool. Yeah. All right.
And in addition to board, card, and miniatures games, there was even an entire hall dedicated to D&D. Now, I didn't get a chance to venture into the D&D hall, but I did find the incredibly authentic archway that led to it.
Because, most ancient temples come with their own escalators. That was a hobbit that just walked by. See how short he was. So, really, really getting into character here. Not a hobbit.
Whew, and that's not even the tip of the iceberg of the number and types of games that were played at Origins. Gamers were enjoying the convention just everywhere, at the tables, in the rooms, in the lobby and hallways, in local restaurants, and at times, the gaming even spilled out into the street. Who would do that? But out of all the games that I observed and played at Origins, the most memorable and special one to me has to be the game of Crazy Carts that I took part in. The game was hosted by Marty and Tony of the Rolling Dice and Taking Names podcast, and it was an event that was auctioned off by them during last year's Jack Vassal Memorial Fund auction. Now, that's the winners of the auction, Angel and Christopher, at the top of the table. What made this game so special was that about a year ago, I received an email just out of the blue from someone who asked me if they could use my Pair of Dice Paradise logo as the basis for a tattoo design, but changing the 6-sided dice in it to D20s. Well, shortly before our game of Crazy Carts began, Angel revealed that she was the one that had contacted me about the tattoo and then showed off her awesome ink to everybody at the table. And I may never have had the opportunity to meet Angel face to face if I hadn't attended Origins. So, after an experience like that, it really doesn't matter who won our game of Crazy Carts. But there were even more events that took place at Origins, gaming and otherwise. And next time, I'll wrap up my Origins vlog with a recap of some of the other special events and activities that took place there. See you then.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
After an experience like that, it really doesn't matter who won our game of Crazy Carts. But for the record, Rodney and I won. And if you were to bump into Marty on the street, you could remind him of this fact. I'm sure he would appreciate that.